What's up, y'all? This is Relly back with another video. Yes, sir, and today we have to talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers because I feel like this is the time to have the conversation about who we need to be trying to get in the offseason and what players can help the Cleveland Cavaliers in this rebuild. But before we get into that, I need y'all to smash that subscribe button. And if you're already subscribed to my channel, share it to somebody who ain't subscribed because we are on that grind with y'all. I know I can get there. And when y'all are done with that, I need y'all to hover over to that like button and smash that too so we can tell the YouTube algorithm to share this video with the world. But with all that being said, we must talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers. For starters, I must give credit where credit is due to the Cleveland Cavaliers because they was playing competitive, right? And when you understand that they did not have Darius Garland, nor did they have Colin Sexton, and they was literally balling, staying competitive without their two best players, you got to give them some credit, right? You got to, especially when you know on the other end, the New Orleans Pelicans had Brandon Ingram, they had Zion Williamson, and both of those players played really, really good, right? Yes, we understand the Cleveland Cavaliers lost, but when you don't have your best two players and you're still competitive with a team like this who was projected to make it to the playoffs and who is projected to make it to the playoff next season after another year of development, you got to understand the Cleveland Cavaliers right now is in a really good position, right? Because the Cleveland Cavaliers is trying to develop into something nice, and they have the potential to do so if they're coached right and if they stay healthy, right? And also, I have to give some credit to Isaac Okoro because I understand a lot of people is starting to have a difference in opinion on Isaac Okoro, but just like when I was saying with Darius Garland, you got to give him some time to show y'all what he can do. The same thing applies with Isaac Okoro. Yes, we understand Isaac Okoro is not playing like a 99 overall. You get what I'm saying? Yes, we understand that. But when you get a player like Isaac Okoro, he entered the draft as a defensive player, right? A defensive player with untapped potential with his offense. You got to understand, you got to let him grow into that, right? He has to find himself. He's a one-year player. Like, yes, it would be great for him to right off the bat be a LaMelo Ball. You get what I'm saying? A Tyrese Halliburton. But he's not that type of player, right? He's going to develop into that. This is why I've always said Isaac Okoro, Patrick Williams, and players like that was more in the tier of the Jimmy Butler, Kawhi type of branch where they had this really great defensive mentality, but their offense is going to have to get some time to grow, right? And it might not even be 2 years where Isaac Okoro becomes the player we want him to be. It might take 3, 4, 5, right? But we got to let him grow. We got to let him develop. And in good time, he's going to be the player we want him to be, right? We just have to give him that time to show off and let him, feel himself. And like I said before, the Cleveland Cavaliers need to start planning ahead on what players they need to prioritize on this offseason, right? And I think the first player they might need to consider getting is Marvin Bagley. And I know a lot of people are going to say, isn't Marvin Bagley in his contract year? And I would say you're absolutely right. But the thing about him is, which I've probably heard a lot on this channel, Marvin Bagley is a restricted free agent, which means he can still be traded off of a sign and trade, right? They can give him the money he wants, and then they could trade him to the Cleveland Cavaliers if they feel like they got a package that was fair for them, which is why I feel like this trade right here would be realistic for us. This trade would have the Cleveland Cavaliers giving up Cedi Osman and Taurean Prince for Marvin Bagley and 2 second-round picks. Now, the only thing that might need to change, which I just noticed, is one of those second-round picks, the 2021 one, unless we're trying to get the player that they drafted for it, because technically we wouldn't be able to get it, right? Because that would have already happened once we made that trade, because that would have been the offseason. You get what I'm saying? But I feel like this would work, right? The reason why we're giving up Cedi and Taurean Prince, because let's assume the Kings is doing the sign and trade. They gave Marvin Bagley the contract. We have to match the contract for the new deal, right? And I feel like already adding in Taurean Prince and Cedi, that would get the job done. And with them giving us 2 second-round picks, the reason why we're getting the 2 second-round picks is because we assume, because it's business, we're going to say, hey, Marvin Bagley is injury prone, so we're going to need some compensation back just in case, even though we have him locked in for a deal. Don't worry, guys. I still have the intention to make a more thorough off-season video saying what the Cleveland Cavaliers need to do in the offseason and the draft, just like I'm about to do that for a lot of other teams too. But, I just felt like after watching that game, I just had a quick thought about what we need. Like, I feel like we are going to need a power forward who can potentially stretch the floor, assuming that we have the plans to get rid of Kevin Love this offseason, which should be our number one priority. Also, I think it would be a great idea this offseason to try to invest in some shooters, right? I feel like how today's game is going, we need some shooters. And for our team style, assuming we believe Colin Sexton and Darius Garland is the future of our Cleveland Cavaliers, we need to invest in some reliable shooters for them, especially for Colin. Like, anybody that's watched Colin play, you understand what he does. He attacks the paint, and if he gets in trouble, he needs somebody to help him space the floor just in case he can almost get bailed out in a way. You get what I'm saying? And I think shooters help players like Colin Sexton and Darius Garland be better players. And for more amazing content, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can be a part of the grind. And with that being said, go.
Hey. Motivated all about cash flow, ran it up and ran out of excuses. In the field and we turn into hoopers. For the clip like bonds we shoot. Just like some soldiers we trooping. Step back three, we hooping. We in your house just like Fortnite.